it's satisfying and creative, a creative thing to make your own seasoned salt. And so I'd encourage you to start with a little grinder. These are very inexpensive and very useful. And I've shown in another video how to clean one so that you can switch from sweet and savory spices. So for this one, we'll start with our seasonings. On the recipe, I'll give you a list of suggestions and you put in what you'd like, but there are some basic ones. So we'll start with the basic ones first, and you start with a half a teaspoon of garlic. That's last. A half a teaspoon of garlic powder, a tablespoon of paprika, and I don't think these are optional. The paprika adds color and depth, so you want that one. An eighth of a teaspoon of dill seed, and if you don't have an eighth of a teaspoon measure, just guess. It's a good healthy pinch of dill seed. The original recipe adds celery seed. I do not care for the celery seed. It's too strong and it overpowers everything else. I'll list it as optional, but I am leaving out the celery seed. The other basic ingredient is you need just a half a teaspoon of onion powder. And I make my own onion powder just by blending in this little mill onion flakes, just the dried onion flakes. Oh, yeah. Make great onion powder. So I guess you could just go ahead and throw the flakes in and guess. I don't think you can have a serious problem with overdoing the onion. So we've got dill seed, onion powder. We need dry mustard. And so I just have a half teaspoon here, so I'll put 2 of those in. I just level it off on the edge of the can. So the dry mustard is in. And the secret basic ingredient is curry powder. Just half a teaspoon of curry powder. And this is not something I normally use, so I was surprised. But curry powder adds another depth. Just like the paprika, it blends in so you're really not thinking, oh, I'm having curry. So those are all the basic ingredients. And the ones I'm going to add, you could add thyme, but I'm going to add chives, just a half, I'm estimating, because how can you overdo chives? And I have freeze-dried rosemary from my own garden. If you're using freeze-dried, be sure not to put the stems in, because those stems never do grind up. Here's the stem right here. Don't use those. Just use the actual leaves. So there you have it. You've gotten what you choose, other than this basic amount that you shouldn't vary. And then you grind this all up. Notice there's no salt in there. I'll show you what to do with that next. Give it enough time for the dill seed to disperse, but really, I don't think you need more than, say, 30 seconds or a minute. Just be generous.
It's a quiet one.
It is. And these are very low cost. In fact, I like them so well. I have 2. I have one for sweet, one for savory. So this is ready. Now, this is the jar I'm going to use to dispense my salt. And
I have a question. So if somebody is on a low sodium diet, they could just use this as a seasoning.
That's true. You could use
seasoning.
You could use it as a saltless seasoning.
Yeah.
That's a very good idea. And I don't really like any salt substitutes.
Yeah.
But I would add dried lemon peel instead of salt.
Oh.
Something else just to, this is where it's the creative outlet, is you decide. Now this just happens, it doesn't quite fit, but close enough. If you have a funnel is good. So I am, in my version, I'm going to put a quarter cup. This is 2 1/8 cups of salt. And then in goes my seasoning that I have customized. So in that goes, oops. Well, of course you have problems on camera. And then, can you just pull that off over the sink? That doesn't quite fit, as you can see, but I can't find my funnel. So this will do. Here's the other trick. When I store this, I put a snack bag over the top of it before I screw the lid on. And this will also help you mix your blend, your spice blend. So that's on there tight. You can see the spices are on the top. The ground up spices are on the top. And the salt is on the bottom. I used Redmond's real salt. You can use any kind of salt for this. So you just give it a couple of shakes, and there you have your customized seasoned salt.
Wow.
I think this would be a cute gift too.
Yeah.
If you really get this down to exactly what your signature set of flavors are, you can put your name to it. I'm going to let my sisters take a little taste and see what they think. Just dab your...
Very good.
I do love the rosemary and I can taste it, but it's not overpowering.
Yeah.
And there's no way I would guess that there was curry powder in there.
No.
However, if you do a sample and there's something that you don't like in your seasoned salt, leave it out the next time. And it's inexpensive enough that if you really don't like your blend, toss it out and try another blend.
I like curry powder, but it's always kind of a little strong for me. So I probably would have left it out.
Yeah.
I like it in there, so
I think it's really good.
yeah, that's awesome. It'd be fun to find some small jars like that to give as a gift already in the...
Well, these I get at Restaurant Supply, and usually I use these to shake cinnamon sugar on a crowd if they're doing Dutch babies or something like that, or powdered sugar. So it's an easily obtainable jar. You could do something like just plain plastic, but I find that a snack bag is just the right size to
It's
cover that,
thick
and then
enough
you've
to
got
keep
it.
the-
So here you have seasoned salt.